Hey guys, and welcome to this hobby tips video on how to paint red cloth on a Tech Priest Manipulus. So today we're going to be going through that process of painting the red cloth, but we're going to be starting from a blue base. So we're going to be doing a little bit like how I've done with my blue-green blends on Soul Blight and other characters. We're going to be doing a red cloth, but going from a blue base, working up through red and then to orange, as you can see in front of me here. So basically, why would we go from blue to orange? Why do we need the red in the middle? Well, when you've got colors that are further around the color wheel, like the blue and the orange, if you were to mix those together, you would get a kind of green color, right? Or like yellow and blue does the same thing. So the way that we blend up from blue to orange is we add an intermediary color in the middle, and in this case we're using red. So the red will blend with the blue and you get a kind of mauve purple color, and the red obviously blends with the orange, so you get like a step process. So you get blue shadows and then up through red and then to orange. If you look at the other video in this little two-part video series on glazing the steel on the other Tech Priest miniature I did, I'll put the link in the top right hand corner here. You can take a look at that. But on that one I also did this particular blend of red through blue up into orange. So today we're going to be focusing on it. So we've got this little guy here who's all ready to go. The rest of him's already been done, so we're ready for the blend. So I guess grab yourself a model and let's get started, eh? Okay, so to begin with, we want to start off with that blue base. So you're going to see me come in and basically paint all the cloth with that dark blue, that night blue, and just give us something to work from. So just going around painting it all, nice thin coat, a couple of drops of water, and you should be good to go. And then once that's done, we're going to set up our gradient. So what I mean by that is we're going to set up a series of colors from dark to light. So you're going to see that gradient in a moment, and basically all it is mixing a little bit of that Mephiston red into the blue and creating a dark color, about 7 steps all the way up through Mephiston, and then adding a little bit of orange in a couple of steps, and then finally a bit of yellow. And so this first step is basically the base tone or the base layer, and you'll see me just painting that around, leaving a lot of the blue and the darker recess areas. We're thinking about this in terms of a fade from blue to orange, so we're not going to paint everywhere. We're just painting the main folds, just building that up. And then once you've got that down, then we move on to the sort of off Mephiston color. So this has less of the blue in it and more of the Mephiston. And with this one is where we're really establishing the red color, the areas we want to see red. So across the hood, the main folds, and leaving a lot of the depressions with that darker red and the blue. So we're sort of building out through this gradient from blue up into red, and that's just going to give us a nice strong base look when we come in now for our Mephiston, which is basically straight Mephiston red, and that's going to give us our bright red. And so we're basically painting the same area but a little less, and across the raised parts of the folds of the cloth, and leaving a lot of the internal areas that are close to the body there, up under all those cables and so on, just leaving those go, and only painting the really prominent areas of that cloth. And so then when that's done, now we're moving on to our first sort of stages of highlighting. And so with that, we're adding a little bit of orange in, and we get a fine detail brush, and now we're picking off the very raised areas, so running lines down the tops of those folds, across the edges, feathering it out. You'll see me feathering it with the brush across the front of the cowl of the hood, and across the top, just following the lines across the most focal areas, so around the face and the front of the figure, and anywhere where it's really sticking out, that's where we want to focus on. And then once that's done, we move into that sort of off orange color, so it's got a little bit less of the red in it, and this is even finer highlighting now. So we're just getting those nice little edges and all those little areas where we want to see some light. Again, mostly focusing around the face and any of the major folds, like around the arms and so on. And then when that's done, we're going to move on to our straight orange highlighter. Now this is even less. So now we're sort of almost going to a spot highlight where we're just picking off the very raised areas. You're going to see me just picking out anywhere that's really prominent. So across the top of that cowl, around the arms there, towards the front, down the bottom, under that belly, on the back there, the major folds there, just the very edges. This is basically like a line edge highlight you might do on a Space Marine or an armor, that sort of thing, or a Stormcast or whatever whatever armor that you're painting, and that's the kind of highlight we're looking for. And then finally, just to really give it a bit of pop, we're going to come in with orange mixed with a bit of yellow, and we're going to do a little spot highlight. So by that I mean we're just picking out the very raised point where the brightest bright would be. So on the edges of the folds, the very point where like edges meet, things like that. We're just going to add a little touchy, a little off yellow orange color, just to really bring out that brightness and give us a full fade between blue to orange. And there we go, one red cloth all done, going from blue all the way up to orange. Yeah, super fun, really easy to do, or at least, you know, an easy concept to understand. In terms of practice, it'll take a few goes to get the blending just right, but as you can see, if you leave all those inner areas with the blue, you get a nice dark to light transition. You don't have to do everywhere, you know, you're just doing the ends all the way up to that orange, and you get a nice interesting look that can be applied on many figures or just one, it's up to you. But yeah, super fun to try, and I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll leave a nice image of this guy at the end with the paint list and so on, as I usually do. But I hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit that like button, subscribe button, it really helps me out, and I guess I'll catch you on the next one.